Well, this is another in the first read series where I read a poem by a poet I don't know or know very little about and just do a first reading for the sheer joy of it, for what got me into poetry in the first place. I might read this differently if I find out more about the person's work, if I find out what their themes are, but the first time through, I just read for what's here. This is from, the one I'm reading today is from Yes Poetry. There's a Poet of the Month in March 2020. This is the Poet of the Month. And this is Devon Henry, who I don't know at all. It's her word. Her work appears in a bunch of different places, and she's from Los Angeles. So I don't really know anything about her. Near Death. So I look at the form whenever I look at something the first time through. I look at this one. It's kind of boxy. It's 2 stanzas, 4 lines, and then 5 lines. And the second one, this one, it's kind of got this interesting thing because it has the slashes in it. Now, I don't know how they're being used at this point, but that makes them stand out differently. This is the only punctuation I'm seeing here. And stand out from other poems. They just make you focus a little bit more on them. And the slashes themselves, historically, if you know anything about MLA or something like that, it meant line breaks. It was kind of interesting to see the slashes here, but not being used as line break. Oh, I see a comma as well, a couple of commas in here. So not the only punctuation, but, one of the main things, no periods, no capitalization. So it's getting rid of a lot of the, expected traditional stuff. Near Death. I don't know if that's supposed to be all caps or if this is just the journal itself putting in all caps. Near Death. The captor kills me on a bus first. So we have a dead narrator here, a speaker, saying my captor kills me on the bus first. First time the captor kills this person is on the bus or first and then goes on throughout the night killing you again. It's called Near Death, so maybe this is an exaggeration of the speaker's experience. It feels like death. First, a living room, in my own bed, the back of a mint green Toyota Camry, at a house party in Reseda, in front of all of our friends. I come back every time. So I'm not sure what to make of this first stanza. I mean, on the, straightforward just reading level, the speaker is saying they're killed first on a bus, then in the living room, then in bed, and then in back of a Toyota, then at a house party, and then in front of our friends, and then they come back every time. I don't know if this is like an emotional killing, like a bad relationship where the person feels like they're being killed or it feels like they're near death because of this experience, or if this is a relationship where they feel trapped by somebody and that person is violent, or that person is just, like I said, emotionally violent. I'm not really sure. It could be any of these, and maybe there's another option here. But whatever it is, this person feels near death when they're with this person, but they come back every time. It just seems kind of hopeful at the end. It's also italicized, that last little bit there. I see a little italics in the second stanza here, and I'll come back to that one. When I escape, I cut my hair and change my name. So it had a captor. It's killed them all in all these different places. House party, a car, all these kind of things, which would fit very well with a relationship. When I escape, I cut my hair and change my name. He still finds me. So it's a he at this point. We're given a gender for this. He still finds me in dreams. So the captor who she's gotten away from still comes to the speaker in dreams, wearing faces I've loved. Well, that's kind of creepy, wearing the faces I've loved. This captor comes in all these other faces. I wake up sobbing and feel my back for wings. This is a back for wings thing. I'm not really sure what's going on. Is this angelic? Is this seeing what's going on here? Still here, which would suggest the angelic part, perhaps. Still here, like I'm still in existence. I'm still here. I'm still here is repeated at the end. So it's italicized. Here as if it's spoken. And the last one is like it's thought. I'm still here. So near death. With this, I'm not really sure what take to have with this one completely. I don't feel like we have quite enough detail in our description to really clearly know exactly what's going on. I mean, if this is a relationship, which it feels the most like that to me, like it's a relationship, but like I said, I don't have enough detail. I think if I saw this in a collection with other works, maybe that would become apparent. I mean, this could be everything from like a violent relationship, could be an emotional violence. It could, it could be straight up that sense of being killed. It could be a gender thing as well. I just don't know without the rest of the poems are more detailed for this. I do think it's kind of interesting, the use of the slashes here to kind of break things up, not to break the lines, which I think would give it a different feel than it does with the lines with this length, but a little slightly longer lines. I think if you broke them up shorter, it wouldn't work as well as a poem. But I like it. I think you have this hopefulness in the beginning. I come back every time, and the person is still here at the end, so it feels like weirdly hopeful poem, even though we have the first stanza as a description of all these killings. So, like I said, I think I would like to see more of this poet's work just to kind of know what to make of this poem in itself.